What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Today, we have a special time together. It's early morning, June 20th, Thursday. My name's Caleb Nail. This is Nailed It Sports. Want to do something different. Want to get a show going, a sports show going for the Central Valley. We have some radio, but there's nothing really out there on YouTube and in the podcast world where we talk Central Valley sports and professional sports and collegiate sports, all of it. So we're going to do that. If you know who I am, you know I'm the host of Beware of Bulldogs. We talk Fresno State sports on Beware of Bulldogs. We will talk Fresno State sports here. We're going to expand a little bit, and we're going to do this 3 days a week. We're going to see how this goes. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, early in the morning. It's supposed to be getting real warm here, but man, this morning it was cold. It's early morning. Sun's not quite up yet, so hopefully the sun gets up while we're out here. Wife kicked me outside. Can't do it inside early in the morning. I can't wake them up. I can't wake her up or the 1-year-old. The 1-year-old wakes up. This will be over real fast. Throwing together some notes. Got a lot to talk about. I think we're going to have a good time. You can follow me on X, Caleb_Nail. That's not right on here. It's _Nail. Let me change that real quick. And then I don't have an Instagram. I do have an Instagram. I don't like Instagram. It's just, I don't know how you guys feel about Instagram, but I know my age group is more Instagram, but the sports world lives on X, so that's where I am. You can actually have conversations on X, right? And reels, you're scrolling. I get nothing out of it. There's no return on my investment on Instagram. I'm sorry, there's not. Okay, let's talk sports though. And by the way, if you're on X and you go follow me, Caleb_Nail, Nale. Send me stuff that you see around the Central Valley. I want, we have a pretty good, how do I want to say this? We have pretty good coverage on X, on the Central Valley. We have Pagmeter, we have Gabe. We got the guys over at ABC 30. They do a good job, Bemis. But other than watching the news, and I don't watch the news, and I don't listen to the radio. So and I've talked to other people before starting this. They don't either. So that's why I wanted to start this. So I need to have some help catching up with what's going on in the Central Valley, because I want the kids to be the spotlight. This is not about me being the spotlight. It's about the kids. And then first and foremost, we're doing this to glorify Jesus. He gets all the glory. So I need your help. Send me all that info. Let's start talking sports. I think we have to start off with the biggest news here. That's the NBA Finals. Celtics were dominant. And I was shocked that a lot of people were with the Mavs during that series. To me, that shows a lack of knowledge in basketball, because this Celtics team is so good. The players on here are so good. But the other thing that it tells me is that we like scoring, and we think scoring makes you really good at basketball. Luka, Kyrie. What we don't like is guys that play really hard, physical, tough defense, rebound well. It's just that doesn't sell tickets. And I guess it doesn't sway you to pick them. By the way, I picked Celtics in 6. I was 1 game off. Oh, so close. I wanted to change it to Celtics in 4. I think like all of us, but Luka and Kyrie showed up one time and they win that game. Let's talk about the Mavs though real quick. I want to talk about their future, specifically Luka. So if you know me personally, you know I'm not a Luka fan. I can't stand Luka. I don't like his game. No defense, lazy, slow. I don't like it. I can't. Now, I will say, I got to give him his credit. He is amazing with the ball in his hands, and he does pass. He could chuck it up when double teams come, but he passes. Are they lazy passes? Yes. But he passes. Luka has to lose weight over this offseason. He has to lose weight. He has to get quicker. But it's really going to be important for him to get his mind right because he is mentally weak. He cries about everything. Everything. I wouldn't give it to him. You don't play defense on one end, which defense is all effort. We see Jaylen Brown. He wins MVP, and we're going to talk about the MVP in a second. Jaylen Brown wins MVP, but he locked him up. Look, locking up Luka, it's really not a thing. But he got in his head. He forced tough shots. He wore him out. I'm sure he had bruises everywhere. That's what you're supposed to do to their stud. And Jaylen Brown did that. Luka just cried and decided not to play defense. And that's why I don't like him. I can't stand it. He will never win an NBA Finals playing that way. And I don't think many players will want to play with him if he acts that way. We'll see. He could change. I believe in conversion. and I also believe that the Mavs can invest elsewhere to hide his weaknesses. That means investing in defensive players, a leader. I don't think Luka's a leader, by the way. A leader that can lead by example, because I think that's what Luka needs to see. A guy like Kyrie, he's an offensive guy, and he's a liability on defense. You can't have that. I mean, you can have that, but you just have to be ready to, or you just have to score 120 points a night. And when you play a good defensive team, you're going to struggle. So the Mavs need to invest in defense and a leader because they don't have that right now. All right, let's move on to the Celtics. I think this Celtics team is the best Celtics team ever. And I know don't turn it off yet. I know I probably just scared everybody away. You got the Birds team in the 80s. They were good. Don't get me wrong. They were great. And then you have KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. That team, I don't know how many, I forget how many years they played together. But Jason Tatum, long, tough, can score the ball almost at will. Jaylen Brown, his motor is unreal. I think he could lock up any of those guys, especially any of those guards. I think Larry Bird would have a tough time on him. I think Ray Allen and Paul Pierce would have a tough time on him. I think Derek White is the most underrated player in the NBA. He blocks shots better than anyone in the league. He's big. He shoots the ball well. When Porzingis is healthy, they're terrifying. Al Horford, I mean, that's insane. It's insane. I think that starting five, that five could take on any five of the Celtics past. I do. Now, I do want to touch on why and ask a question. Why are people complaining about Jaylen Brown winning MVP? Why? Do they not watch the finals? The only argument I get, or I have seen, I should say, I don't really get it, is points scored. Oh, yeah, Jason Tatum had more points scored. And did he guard the best player on the floor most of the time? No. And have good offensive production? No. Jason Tatum struggled in a lot of the games. Jaylen Brown, if he wasn't struggling, or if he was struggling on the offensive side, he was locking up Luka, Kyrie, whoever. Plus, the energy he brought is a type of energy that they needed throughout the series. You need those guys. You need those guys to fire up the rest of the team. I was talking about leading by example for the Mavs. That's Jaylen Brown. When a coach needs someone to go fire up the team, go take a charge, grab a rebound, drive to the rim with reckless abandon, I'm giving the ball to Jaylen Brown. I'm telling Jaylen Brown, hey, don't let Luka touch the ball. I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but Jaylen Brown was talking to Mazzulla, who, by the way, is my new favorite coach. I absolutely love Mazzulla, and I love that he is unashamed for the gospel. That is awesome. But he was talking to Mazzulla, saying, I'm not going to let him touch the ball. My goal is he's not touching the ball. I'm going to be in his grill the whole time. And that was Jaylen Brown for 5 games. He did that. He brought the energy, which led to other players playing that way for Boston. Jaylen Brown, easily MVP. Easily. If you watch the game, if you have any idea about basketball, you know that it was his energy that made the difference. His effort. Defense is all effort. That's what defense. Rebounding, a little bit of boxing out, effort. Defense knowing where to be, but then effort. It's mainly effort. 90% effort. Jaylen Brown did that. I think Jaylen Brown brought it every night and deserved MVP. You have to pay very close attention when watching basketball games, because I think the common fan wants to pay attention to it. I call them box score fans. And I would do this early on when I'm talking about sports. I would look at the box score and make my judgment on players based off box score numbers. Can't do that. And you know that. I know that. You just can't do that. And if you watch the game, Jaylen Brown was the MVP. He was. All right. I'm sorry, but I have to touch on this real quick. WNBA, stories out the wazoo. They're really pushing WNBA. And it actually can be, some stories can be interesting. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, mainly Caitlin Clark. But the WNBA is still boring. It still is. There's way too much politics. Way too much. And when I say politics, I really mean race baiting. Talking about the color of skin. I don't care about the color of their skin. I don't want to know who they sleep with. I don't care. It's basketball. What I care about is what happens on the floor. If you do something stupid off the floor that's going to affect on the floor, you do something illegal, okay, we can talk about it. But on the floor, the game is still boring. The game is played below the rim. And it should be very fundamental. And it is. And I enjoy fundamental basketball. High school basketball is almost, it's right up there with college basketball. I love college basketball, but high school basketball, I love it. So I enjoy fundamental basketball. Women's basketball is very fundamental. They have to be. They're not, because they can't. There's no freaky athletes taking one dribble from the 3-point line and dunking it down someone's throat. No one's doing that. I watched a couple highlights. Brittany Griner missed a layup. Couldn't use her left hand. She can't finish with someone on her. But then she's so much bigger than everybody else. She just got the rebound and put it right back up. It's boring. It's really boring. That's why, you have to shoot 3-pointers to make this game fun. And the first girl that does it from the logo makes it fun. But other than that, WNBA, still boring. And I know people are tuning in. I can't. Tell me, comment down below what makes it exciting for you guys. Is it the shooting? Is it fundamental basketball? The passing? I just can't do it. I would much rather watch the two worst MLB teams play against each other than watching the two best WNBA teams play against each other. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I can't apologize for that. I only apologize if I'm wrong. And this is how I feel. And I relate it to this, and I hear this argument a lot for women's volleyball. Well, everyone watches women's volleyball. This is someone else talking. Everyone else watches women's volleyball because it's fundamental and the rallies are longer. Okay, that's why people are going to watch women's basketball. They're very fundamental. They shoot the ball well. I'm sorry. You're kidding yourself if you think men watch women's volleyball because the rallies are longer. Have you watched men's volleyball? Oh my gosh. They're insane. Freaky athletic. You talk about guys that could jump out of the gym. Every single one of those guys will jump over me easily. They'll jump over the rim and they crush the ball. Those guys are fun to watch. I love watching men's volleyball. I will watch women's volleyball. I just like sports. But women's volleyball is very boring. Once you watch men's volleyball, women's volleyball is very boring. And so to me, there's only one reason why men watch women's volleyball, and you can guess why. So I think they're lying to themselves, the people that say that. It's the same with basketball. Same. I think that the people are lying to themselves the reason they like the WNBA, they're lying to themselves. Go watch men's basketball. I'm sorry. The game is played above the rim. So we can talk all we want about WNBA. And if you're a women's basketball player, be very fundamental, shoot the ball well. That's what I like watching. And I think that's how you're going to get people to watch. And by the way, there's no connection to professional teams. It's a lot, let me put it this way. It's a lot smaller than college. The tradition, the atmosphere in the college world, way better. That's why everyone was tuning into Iowa games, LSU games. Then you get to the WNBA. I have no connection to the Lynx or the Fever. Even the teams in California, the LA teams, none. The people are so much different in LA than the Central Valley. It's just, I have no connection. I like green and trees and dirt. I don't like cement and blacktop. All right. I'll move on. That was my rant for the day. Just kidding. There's probably a lot more. If you like Fresno State sports, tune into Beware Bulldogs. We only talk Fresno State sports, but I do want to talk quickly about some Fresno State sports on here. This is going to be 3 days a week. So when Fresno State stuff happens, that is Central Valley news, sports news. So we got to talk about it. 2 quarterbacks have committed to the Fresno State within the past 2 days. No surprise. We are the G5 school that can recruit at a high level the quarterback room. As long as Jeff Tedford is head coach of the Fresno State Bulldogs, I believe we should be getting, and we will be getting, the top quarterbacks available for the G5 schools. Tough to compete with Power 5. Real tough. You can't. We don't have the money. But 2 3-star quarterbacks committed here. And we already have a crowded room. We have Mikey Keene, who's a starter. And then we have 3 or 4 guys after him already that have been here. So this says something about Jeff Tedford and that smart boys, the smart players, the quarterbacks are going to want to come here to learn. Yeah, most likely they're going to transfer. But I mean, if you're a quarterback and you want to get good so that you could play at a higher level, you come learn under Tedford. And my main point on this is that G5 teams and how college football is going, how college sports are going, you're going to have to specialize in something. Right? We see this in the wine world. I come from the wine world. Farming, things. People specialize in certain things. And if you do it well, you get known for that all over the world. And now they go to you to drink their cab. You have the best Merlot. That's what they do well. Caleb does almonds real well, right? So you specialize in something. I think it's very important in life to specialize in something, and then you can branch out and do things like that. It's going to be important for G5 schools to specialize in something, and as long as Tedford is here, we should be specializing in quarterbacks. And guess what? That position touches the ball every play. Not a bad position to specialize in. If I'm going to pick one, I'm probably picking that one. And right behind that is D-line for Fresno State. Now, we're going to struggle if we don't specialize in offensive line. But I think if we specialize in getting after the quarterback and we specialize in the quarterback position, we'll be there every year. We'll be in the conversation every year. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think Tedford has taken it there. The high school kids know you want to play quarterback, you go to Fresno State. You learn under Coach Tedford. I want that to continue. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we need that to continue. All right, let's stay in the football world. I want to talk about a proposed rule in the NFL that is very sad. And then I want to get to the NFL beer prices. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'll touch on that real quick. So a quarterback salary cap is being discussed in the NFL right now. Fat N-O. No. You don't do that. Look, if you want to pay your quarterback so much money that it becomes a problem, that's your problem. Deal with it. That's what's great about the free market. Look, every other business in America goes through it. Growing business. You're growing, you hire a bunch of people, you realize, you know what? I hired way too many people. I have to downsize. The boss, myself, I got to get back to work to save some money. This payroll tax is killing me. or we're not making enough, or I can't make enough to support everyone working here. So, what do? You don't pay your quarterback so much money. That's it. And let's look at the teams who are winning championships. Who are the two dynasties? You have the best quarterback. I get it. Patriots, Tom Brady. Wasn't paid extremely well compared to quarterbacks now, right? Took pay cuts so that they could beef up the O-line and play really good defense. Every year, the media was talking about they need to get guys to help him. They needed weapons. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. He made everyone around him better. Patrick Mahomes. Need to get Patrick Mahomes weapons. He's the best around. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback. Paid extremely well. High up there, right? Doesn't have weapons. Has a decent O-line. You get him a good O-line, and they get after the quarterback. That's what they do. And they win championships. And teams still cannot figure out how to build a championship-winning team. Let me help you out. Clip this. Really good quarterback. Obviously. Protect him. Get after the other quarterback. There you go. Those teams win championships. It's that simple. But if you pay your quarterback a crap ton of money, you can't pay your left tackle a bunch of money. You can't pay your center a lot of money. You can't pay your edge rushers a whole lot of money. Or you don't have the money to actually put together a decent secondary. That's a problem. I think having a quarterback salary cap in the NFL, if you cannot tell, is a bad idea. And it's just going to become, you might as well just have set salaries for every position. That's what it should be. Because I think building a team, part of that process is also deciding how much you pay, how much in your salary you have left to play with, to sign free agents, to do all those things, to extend contracts. That's part of the game. We need to leave that in the game. All right. NFL beer prices. This may shock you. Probably not. There are two things that shocked me here. The most expensive beer in the NFL is in Philadelphia. $14.67. Philadelphia Eagles for a beer. That's insane. No one is. Let me say. No one in this economy is getting drunk off that. But at the same time, Philadelphia is a different breed. And so that's why they can charge that much, because they're going to sell no matter what. Cheapest beer in the NFL is actually two. Detroit Lions and Atlanta Falcons, $6.25. That's cheaper than Fresno State beer in the stadium. But I don't drink their beer in the stadium. The average price for an NFL beer, $9.56. Just so everyone here in the Central Valley knows, your California teams, 49ers, Chargers, Rams, 49ers, $11.50. The LA teams, $13.75. My Oakland Raiders, $12. So, well, yeah, you got New York. They're up there. The New York teams, they're at $11. And then your cheap ones are Detroit, Atlanta, and then 30 cents more than those two is Cincinnati Bengals at $6.59. And then after that, it jumps to $8. Everybody else is $8 and above. But the average price, $9.56. That is a lot for a beer. I hope I'm getting decent amount of beer for that. And I know you're not. I know you're not, because I'm paying a lot of money at Fresno State for a beer, and I've seen that. I've seen what can you get. Not going to cut it. So I just thought of this one. $9.56 for your average beer in the NFL. And shout out to Detroit and Atlanta. That's where we're going next for our beer. All right. Couple more things I want to talk about. College World Series. It's set. The finals are set. Tennessee, Texas A&M. Tennessee, number one team coming in. Not a big surprise. Texas A&M, I think it was a little bit of a surprise. But how can Texas A&M shut down the bats at Tennessee? It's going to be tough. Tennessee is the best at the plate in the country. They've been on fire. My only beef with this is that it's an all-SEC final, which is a bummer. Shoot, it was all-SEC, I believe, Final Four, I believe. Yeah, Texas A&M, Florida, Tennessee. I don't even remember who Tennessee played. because they just won it so quick. Was it North Carolina? Did they beat North Carolina? I don't know. Anyways, or Kentucky. No. Florida beat Kentucky. Too many SEC teams. But I get it. I understand. The money's there. They're taking our West Coast kids to go play over there. I get it. I mean, if I was a high school kid and I had an offer from SEC school, I'd take it because I'm actually going to make money. Unfortunately, that's how it would go. This will be a first, though, for Tennessee or Texas A&M, whoever wins. Whoever wins, it's a first. So congratulations to you guys. But can the Aggies keep volunteer bats quiet? We will see. I think that's going to be the storyline. All right, I want to touch on the biggest storyline, I think, over the weekend was the U.S. Open. Sunday had to be the most fun I've had watching golf in a long time. Long time. I enjoyed watching Scotty at the Masters. But watching Bryson, the local kid, actually former classmate of mine, didn't know him. So I'm not one of those guys. Yeah, I do. Saw him around campus, was a volleyball player. But I think he was 2 grades ahead of me. Said like 2 words to him. That was it. Don't know him. But I am really excited for him. He is changing the game of golf. And this is why the people in charge of golf need to figure it out. I think Liv kind of had the right idea of golf, but it's loud. We're having fun. We're having fun. But the problem is there's no tradition there. The courses don't have the tradition. The Masters, the U.S. Open, all these PGA events, there's really some excitement behind those events. You just say the name of the event, people know what they're talking about. Live, it's on YouTube. It's only on YouTube. It's loud, blaring music, which I actually don't like. And I think Bryson proved that it can be loud and fun without it being shoved down our throats at Live. And I don't know what side of the spectrum you guys sit on. Side of the fence, I should say. But I just like sports. I want good golf to be played. And it was amazing golf, by the way. Bryson on that last hole was insane. And people are talking about that bunker shot. And Bryson's been talking about that bunker shot forever. And they should be. And it will be talked about forever. Amazing shot. But I think the takeaway is, look, Scotty's fun. Scotty's number 1 in the world. He's fun to watch because he's so good. And he's got the right mindset, right? He's taking care of his family. He's taking care of his kid and his golf game. And that's how it should be. Bryson does not have a kid, as far as I know, is not married. So he has this interaction with the crowd that's a little different. He's got time invested into YouTube to interact with us, which I appreciate. I really like it. I think it's fun, and more people should be doing that. And the fact that, I don't know if you guys seen the numbers on YouTube for these golf YouTubers, but they're blowing up, and they have been for a while. So Bryson relates to the guys my age and younger. And I don't know if you saw the video of all of the 20-year-old white boys running to the green at Pinehurst to watch Bryson. Is insane. But he has put in the work to relate to them. And that's what we have. And they know who Bryson is. They know he likes to get fired up. And it was loud and fun to watch. It was entertaining television. And that's what I enjoy. I think we all enjoy. It needs to be entertaining. Scotty's entertaining because he's so good. And he gets some fist bumps in there and things like that. But the way Bryson handled it, that was entertaining. It's so fun. And the fact that he is investing time into the next generation, spending all night signing autographs, letting people touch the trophy, it's different. I think Bryson is actually saving the game of golf. 2 months ago at the Masters, they were talking about how no one was tuning in to the Masters. The viewership was way down. I would argue now, if Bryson is the guy, he's going to save the game of golf. This is what golf needs. And the fact that they're separated right now is a big problem, and they're going to struggle through it. But congrats to Bryson. Man, you crushed it. And I had so much fun watching you on Sunday. I was glued to the television. Last but not least, and then I'll get out of here. I got to get ready for work. Copa America. If you don't know what Copa America stands for or what it is a soccer tournament. It's a South American soccer tournament. There's only 10 South American countries that participate in this. So they invite other countries to play. Most of the time, Central American teams. But the United States has been invited, and we're hosting this year. And we play Bolivia Sunday. And I wanted to compare it to Euros. So the Euros are going on, and Euros is just the European competition that goes on every 2 years. And if you've watched the Euros, they're being hosted in Germany, but it is packed. Hungary was playing yesterday. Albania was playing yesterday. Those two countries showed up and showed out. It's insane. Germany, no one's working. When Germany played yesterday, no one. Everyone is there watching. My family is Croatian. So, and I've been blessed to go over there, meet my cousins, have a good time. When Croatia plays soccer, nothing is going on. Nothing. And I'm sure you know this. It's the same with South America. When Argentina and Brazil play, nothing's going on. I would love to have that culture in the United States. I would love to have that culture. Because that culture, one, is a culture that supports its country. Right? We shut down for NFL, and those are cities. Those are just cities, right? And, what makes the United States special is the states and the power that the states have, right? So maybe that's what we need to do. We need to do tournaments based off of states so that California can actually get together and cheer on our boys that when they're playing against Ohio. And by the way, then they can't steal. They can steal our college athletes, but then when we put our teams together, they come back together. Anyways, it's so special, especially when you get to experience it. We were there. We were in Croatia for the 2006 World Cup. Insane. It was insane. And it was so fun. Everyone's decked out in Croatia stuff. Everyone, when the game is going on. There was no one on the road. No one. I have to repeat things just so you know how, there was no one except for the dumb Americans tourists driving around. That's what it looked like yesterday. Watching the Euros early in the morning. I think there's a game starting right now, by the way. Croatia played at 6 a.m. yesterday. Nothing's going on in Croatia. Nothing. I want the United States to get there. We play Bolivia Sunday. I would love to get people together, watch the game. And it happens in pockets of the United States because there's soccer fans. But what we're going to have to do, and you're going to have to help me with this, is change a narrative around soccer. Central Valley, we love soccer. We love it. We have great soccer players here. We can change a narrative, but it's got to start here. The biggest, baddest dudes around the world, other than the United States, go play soccer, right? They're best athletes. Our best athletes play football, baseball, basketball. It's changing. It is changing. But when we have foreign exchange students come try out for the basketball team, they never make it. here or football team. When we have foreign exchange students come and try for the soccer team, they're starters. There's the difference. So comment down below what you think needs to change culturally to get soccer to that level to where I don't have to go to work. Now, the game's on Sunday, but it's not just me getting out of work, but it's about the relationship aspect of getting together with everybody and just having a good time watching the beautiful game. It is honestly a beautiful game. I don't care what you think about soccer. It's a beautiful game. Absolutely love it. What needs to change culturally so that we can get there? Because I think it would be a lot of fun. All right. Let me know down below. Follow me on X, Caleb_Nail. And then talk to me about what you want to talk about. I work a full-time job. It's going to be really hard to get guests on here unless they want to show up to my house at 5 a.m. and we sit down and do this. If you want to do that, let me know. But other than that, I just thank you guys for your support. We've done Beware Bulldogs for 5 years now, and I think it's time now. We're going to branch out, start touching different things. But Beware Bulldogs will still be around and talk Fresno State sports. So if you have anything, comment down below. Anything that you can think of on what I said. If you disagree, agree, would love to hear it. And share this with a friend because Nailed It Sports, we are the new Central Valley sports show. Thank you, guys. Jesus loves you. I will talk to you, today's Thursday, Saturday morning. See ya.